ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೇ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮಜಾ ಟಾಕೀಸ್. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಜಾ ಟಾಕೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹಬ್ಬ ಆಚರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸದ್ಗುರುಗಳ ಹುಟ್ಟುಹಬ್ಬ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಸದ್ಗುರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಹುಟ್ಟುಹಬ್ಬದ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. ಹಾಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸಂಚಿಕೆ ಇದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸದ್ಗುರುಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಅಭಿಯಾನ, ನಮ್ಮ ನದಿಗಳನ್ನ ಉಳಿಸುವಂತ ಅಭಿಯಾನ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಸೊ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ರುಚಿ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಾವಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಒಡನಾಟ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ?
ಹಾವ್ನ ಅಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅಂತಾನು ಏನೋ ಕೇಳ್ಪಟ್ಟಿದೀವಿ.
This happened to me very young when I went into the jungles. When I was 6-7 years of age, I could effortlessly pick up a snake.
Oh.
And they were nice to me, I was nice to them.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕಾಡ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಗುರುಜಿ? ಭಯ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ವಾ?
ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಅದೊಂದು ಬರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು. ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಭಯ ಒಂದು ಬರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಭಕ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಭಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. So snakes became very dear to me simply because they are such exquisite beauty. Another is snakes have a very keen sense of knowing what's happening around them. Today we know that snake has a very profound perception. This is the reason why you see Shiva is carrying a snake around his neck, not at his feet, just next to him, because it has a very profound perception of things. For example, a cobra which is in the Western Ghats, if you observe this cobra properly, if there is going to be, let's say, there is going to be an earthquake in California, almost on the other side of the planet, this cobra will start behaving in a certain way. Not on that day, at least 5 to 7 days before it happens, the cobra behaves in a certain way, and if you observe closely enough, you know an earthquake is coming. But where is it coming? Probably he knows, but I have not been able to know whether he knows. But he knows an earthquake is coming, because he has such a deep perception. A cobra or a snake is essentially stone deaf, it has no ears. So he is literally ear to the ground, his entire body works as a ear, and he listens very carefully and he lives in a certain way. And above all, they're very sensitive to meditative energies. Later on, when I started meditating in and around Mysore, if I sat down in an afternoon, if I sat there for 5-6 hours with eyes closed, when I opened my eyes, there would be 8-10 cobras just sitting right here, just drawn to this. So, my relationship with snakes, but particularly with cobras, became very profound. And I trekked across Western Ghats in Sirsi, Jog, Kudremukh, Kumar Parvat, that entire stretch, many times, wanting to catch a king cobra. But I never did. Only recently, about 4 years ago, for the first time, I caught my first king cobra. But once it happened, I was lying on a rock. The rock was a wedge like this, just 2 feet wide. I was lying on this wedge. And then I see like this, I'm good with my right hand, I'm not very good with my left hand. When I'm say I'm good with my right hand, those days, now I'm not that quick anymore. If there is a provoked cobra like this, I would simply go and pick him up like that. But I'm lying down like this, right next to me a king cobra is going here slowly. This has been my life's dream to catch a king cobra. But he's right next to me, but my right hand is stuck here. My left hand, I'm thinking maybe I should risk it and catch, but wisdom overruled that. I didn't want to try with my left hand catching a king cobra. So my dream just passed right next to me, touching me, and just went away. So
ಗುರುಜಿ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಹಬ್ಬದ ಊಟ ತಯಾರಾಗತ್ತೆ, ದಯಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಕೋರಿಕೆ.
ಬೇಗ ಬೇಗ ಬೇಗ. ಗುರುಜಿ, ಮನುಷ್ಯನ್ಗೆ ದೊಡ್ಡವನಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ದೊಡ್ಡವನಾಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ತುಂಬಾ ಸಣ್ಣ ವಯಸ್ಸಲ್ಲೇ, ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಲ್ಲೇ ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯವನ್ನ ಪಡೆದ್ರಿ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್, ಆ ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಹೇಗಾಯ್ತು? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಆ ನಿಮಿಷದ ಒಂದು, ಆ ಕ್ಷಣದ ಒಂದು ಭಾವನೆಗಳು ಹೇಗಿತ್ತು? ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತೀನಿ.
ಹೋಳಿಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋರ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ತಿನ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ?
ಹೋಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ಬೋದು,
ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದಾ?
ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ,
ರುಚಿ
ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದಾ?
ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೋಳಿಗೆನೇ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳೋದು?
ಲವ್ಲಿ.
ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಗುರುಜಿ. ರೀ, ಇವ್ರು ಹುಟ್ಟು ಹಬ್ಬದ ದಿನನೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದ, ನಂಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಹುಟ್ಟು ಹಬ್ಬದ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು ಗುರೂಜಿ. ಅಣ್ಣ, ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ, ನಾನು ಕೇಳಲಾ?
ನೀನ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನ್ ಕೇಳ್ಕತ್ತೀನಿ.
ಹಾ.
ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಲೋಕೇಶ್, ಗುರೂಜಿಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವೈಫ್ ನ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಿಸಸ್ ನ.
ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ಮೈ ಆನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ವೈಫ್.
ಗುರುಜಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಈ ರ್ಯಾಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೀವ್ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ?
My engagement with mountains, forests and rivers right from a very early age has been very intense. From the age of 12 to 17, almost every day I swam in Kaveri. But today you can walk across in the same places where I used to swim. And somewhere when I was between 17 and 18, from Bhagamandala to Mysore, 163 kilometers, I took 4 truck tubes and 10 bamboos and tied them together and floated down the river for 13 days. I ate off the river, lived on it. So in my experience, river is not something that is just a source of water for us. A river is a living thing, and many living things are engaged with it. It's a whole body of life. And our own bodies are over 70% water. The water which is within us are so precious to us, but if it's here, we think it's nothing. This is the ignorance of human experience. So, I've been watching this for the last 25 years with some distress, how rivers have been depleting, not just Kaveri, many. Kaveri has depleted little over 40% in the last 35 years. Narmada has depleted 60%. Krishna has depleted over 60%. Mahi has gone over 75%. Many of them have just dried up, totally, 100%. Out of the many tributaries that rivers have, many small tributaries all over the country are totally gone. The most alarming is in the Himalayan region. Over 800 tributaries which flow into Bhagirathi river, which becomes Ganga. More than 470 of them have become seasonal, which used to be perennial. Now they flow only for 3 to 5 months in a year, what used to flow 12 months in a year.
Throughout the year.
Because we built Indian railways out of the Himalayan timber. You might have heard, maybe you're too young for this, but you might have heard of Sundarlal Bahuguna, the Chipko movement.
Yeah.
yeah.
Where they were the first tree-hugging people. They tried to save the Himalayan forest, but we chopped it down and built railways out of that. After many years, after we destroyed the forest, now we are making concrete railway sleepers. We could have done that in the first time. We knew how to make concrete. We could have made concrete sleepers in the very first place. But we chopped down entire Himalayan range and destroyed the place, because particularly in Himalayas, it's a very fragile mountain. If you remove the vegetation, it just starts coming down, the mountain itself. You will see large-scale landslides happening in Himalayas. From the age of 19, for 27 years, every year I trekked in Himalayas. So I know how it deteriorated, as I saw year after year. About 14 years ago, I stopped going to Himalayas, I started going to Tibet. Because the mountain peaks, which were never bare in any season, 14 years ago when I went for the first time, they were completely bare, no snow, all black peaks, which had never happened, ever. Probably in a million years they have not happened, but now many of them are bare. And Gomukh, you heard of Gomukh, where Bhagirathi takes its birth. When I first went, it was just about maybe 20 feet or 25 feet wide cave where water was spouting out like this, that it looked like a cow's mouth. That's why they said Gomukh. 14 years ago when I went, it's a mile wide. I walked into it over a kilometer, into the ice cave, because it's just become that wide. So like this, many things have happened, but the deterioration in the last 7-8 years is so sharp that in the last 4 years I've been thinking we must do something about this. I've been looking at what they have done in other countries, but what they do in other countries will not fit into our country because our country's geography and situations are very different. So I knew what they're doing is not the only solution, we need to do it differently. Of all the rivers that we have in this country, only 4% of the river water in this country is coming from glacial source, that is, ice melting in the mountains and coming. 96% of our water is coming from forests. For people who do not understand, let me explain in a simple way. On an average in this country, we have only 45 days of rain. 45 rain days. I see, yesterday I came in Bangalore and it was raining. When I come, first thing that somebody says is, it's raining too much. There is no too much. It's only English people who said, rain, rain, go away, you should never again sing that song. Because that is true in their country. Because rain is cold and almost 250 days in a year, it's raining there.
Yeah.
Our rain is on average 45 days is all we are getting. This rain when it comes down, if there is enough vegetation, let's say there is a forest here, because of the root system and the bioactivity and much life that's happening there, if the rain falls like this, it will go into the earth. But if you remove the vegetation, the rain will flow on the surface, water. This is why in the country you're seeing cycles of flood and drought, flood and drought, because there is no vegetation to take the water down. We always come up with very brilliant ideas, which are not bad, but stupid. Right now, you ask anybody, they'll say, we're doing water harvesting on my house.